Good evening, Sunday evening, 7:30. It must be John and Michelle, Sunday Satsang. Good evening to everyone. Welcome, welcome.
Another beautiful evening here in Cape Town.
Yep, had a beautiful day, sunny, bit windy this afternoon though. Bit windy, we've had to close the windows. Yeah. But beautiful day, and hopefully you've all had a good weekend, a restful weekend as well. And hopefully you're energized for the week ahead, because as Michelle is going to share with us, there's interesting times ahead, very interesting times ahead. So hopefully you've recharged all your batteries this weekend and you're fully empowered for the coming week. Yeah. So what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be doing a centering presence meditation, and then Michelle's going to share some of her astrological insights. You know, when an astrologer looks at your chart and she says, like, holy shit, then you know you're in trouble. And when she was looking at the new moon chart, that's what she sort of said. So I'm sure we're going to be in for an interesting ride this week. Yeah, interesting ride. So then Michelle will share that, and then we'll look at your true intelligence. How can we tap? And what is true intelligence? And how can it change our lives if we live in alignment with that true intelligence? So we're going to be doing that. And then at the end of the evening, Michelle will give us one of her beautiful guided visualizations to lead us out, to put us in the right state to surf the waves of the coming week. And then we'll leave you with an affirmation as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, yeah. And if you can hear us, let us know, because sometimes the mic doesn't quite work properly. So just let us know, and let us know where you're listening from, where you're watching from. We'd like to know that. And also, if you can press the share button, it helps get the video to a broader audience. And I think it is important at this time that a lot more people get involved in doing their spiritual work. Yeah. So if you press the share, it goes out to a broader group. So welcome to everyone, welcome. And let's start this Sunday off as we normally do on a Sunday evening. And that is to withdraw our mind from all of our stories, all of our dramas, all of our history, all of our futures. So we withdraw our mind from all of the times and all of the places and just become centered in reality as it is right now. I know the mind tells you a lot of other things are real, more real than this, but actually this is more real than anything else. Is sitting here tonight with us, connecting with those on the call, connecting our hearts, connecting our awareness, and building up an energy of presence. So let's just gently maybe shut our eyes and just settle down into this present moment, here and now. As I said, withdrawing your mind from all other times and all other places, and just connecting with what is absolutely experientially real right now in this moment. And one of the tools that we can always use to bring us back to sanity is by focusing our awareness on our breath. We have a tremendous power within us, the power of focus of attention. And the world of form is so alluring, always wants our attention. It's like 10 naughty kids running around you, tugging at your attention. But right now, put your hands on the steering wheel and steer your attention back to the breath, just to this moment. It's called the breath of life. It is life. Without the breath, we don't have the human experience. So just for a few moments, center your awareness fully on the breath. Becoming aware of the rhythm of the breath. Becoming aware of the ease of the breath. Becoming aware of the gift of the breath. So as we sit here quietly this evening, let us extend a vibration of gratitude for the breath. And let's take a deep breath in, pushing our diaphragm down, pulling our tummy out like a big ball, filling our whole body up, and then a beautiful, long, releasing, relaxing breath out. Let's try that again. A deep breath in, you pulling the air right the way down into your body, blowing your tummy up like a big ball, and then that beautiful, long, surrendered breath out. Just surrender. Let go. Another deep breath in. Again, right down below your diaphragm, pulling it down as if you were sending it to your toes. Move it up to the top of your head, and then a long, relaxing, releasing breath out. Just letting it all go. And now allow life, the intelligence of life, to breathe you. To breathe in a rhythmic way. The air in, the pause, the air out, the pause, the air in. This intelligence, which is beyond your normal logical control, is more than capable of breathing you, provided you remove the barriers to that intelligence. This intelligence is able to breathe you 24 hours a day, whether you're focused on it or not. This intelligence called life gently oxygenates the body. The heart participates in this breathing dance by transporting oxygenated blood through the arteries, the veins, the capillaries, bathing, nourishing, nurturing every single cell in your body, every moment of the day and every moment of the night. This process of oxygenating your body is taking place unconsciously, but aligned with life. So just monitor the in-breath, the pause, the out-breath, the pause, keeping your awareness fully here in the present moment as you do this. If the thoughts arise, you just allow them to drift through your awareness without attaching your attention to them, becoming totally focused on the breath. Bring your awareness to the tip of your nose and seeing if you can pick up the temperature difference between the in-breath and the out-breath and the out-breath and the in-breath. In a state of gratitude for this breath, in awe of the incredible intelligence of life that breathes you, that beats your heart, that digests your food, that enables you to listen, to hear, to understand. That enables you to have this human experience. Bring your awareness now down into the body. Bring your awareness fully down into your right foot, to the big toe on your right foot. See if you can pick up any tension under your big toe nail on your big toe on your right foot. Is there any tension there? Bring your awareness to your left foot, to the big toe on your left foot, to the toenail on the big toe on your left foot. Without looking, just check that it's there and see if there's any tension under the toenail. Bring your awareness now to the little toe on your left foot. Just check that that's there. Just drop your consciousness fully into those toes. And notice what happens in your body as you drop your awareness down to your feet. You may find a A certain ease, a certain calmness arises in your body as you bring your awareness fully down into the body. Bring your awareness now across to the right ankle. See if there's any tension in your right ankle. If there is, just allow it to be there. And just say thank you to the ankle for all the work that it does. It's got to bear your whole body weight and be flexible in all different directions at the same time. Phenomenal joint. And now lift your awareness slightly up to your shin, to your calf muscle, and up to the knee on your right leg. Just acknowledging your right leg up to the hip. And doing the same now with the left leg, the ankle, the shin, the calf muscle, the knee, the thigh, up to the hip. Relaxing, releasing any tension. And at the same time being grateful for the incredible work that your legs do and the gift of being mobile. Up through the hips. Bring your awareness up your spine, just acknowledging each vertebra as you make your way up. The middle of the back, between your shoulder blades, up your neck, right to the top, and then into your scalp, and over the top of your scalp, into your forehead, and just smooth away any worry lines, any concerns. Just drop it in this moment. Dropping your eyelids even more. Bring your awareness down into your cheeks, relaxing them. Resting your tongue lightly against the roof of your mouth, against the front teeth. Relaxing your jawbone, your tongue. Bring this relaxation down your neck into your shoulders, maybe move your shoulders a little bit, relaxing them, and dropping your awareness now down into your hands. Bring your awareness into your right hand, into the middle of the palm on your right hand, and see if you can pick up any energy there right now. And bring your awareness across to your left hand and to the middle of the palm on your left hand. And see if you can connect the middle of your palm on your left hand energetically to your right palm. See if you can feel a pulse of energy between your hands, emanating from your hands, from your palms. Just being aware of the life that is in your body, in your hands, in your feet, in your cheeks, in your forehead. Right now in this moment, simultaneously, everywhere, all at once. Becoming aware of what a blessing it is to inhabit the body. What a blessing it is to be aware of the body. Realizing that your body is always present, always here, always now. And by bringing our awareness into alignment with this body sensation, we become present. And in this alignment with life and alignment with presence, there is a sense of greater peace. Just acknowledge that peace within you right now. The ease of life right now, just in this moment. And say thank you. In this aliveness there is great intelligence. And this intelligence is centered on the organ which we know of as the heart. The heart is the seat of this life energy within us. And this energy orchestrates the thousands upon thousands of metabolic processes which go on within the body every moment of the day without any awareness on your part. So with a sense of gratitude, be in alignment with this energy, this heart-based life energy. Take a deep breath in and release. And take another very deep breath in and just a letting go, surrendering breath out. Take another third deep breath in, this time filling your whole body up till bursting point, and then a long beautiful sigh out, and gently, when you're ready, open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, just see how you feel in this moment. Do you feel a bit more centered, a bit more at peace? Well, I can guarantee you one thing: you're more intelligent in this moment than you've been when you're not centered, when you're not present. So thank you. Thank you to all those for joining us tonight. Thank you. Lovely
Thanks,
day
John.
here.
It was a nice,
Thank
lovely,
you.
beautiful check-in.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Lovely to see some familiar little faces up there.
Yeah.
You can see on the phone. Okay, so I'm going to just give a little update. I'll do a bigger one probably tomorrow. But we've got a new moon, a new moon coming up on Wednesday morning at about 7 o'clock. And it's a new moon in Capricorn. And so we always know that new moons are a time for planting new seeds, new intentions. And this is the first one of the year, the first new moon of the year. So this is the basic intention planting new moon of the year, if you like. And the way I'm seeing it, we're in for a little bit of quite interesting energy this week. There's a lot of planetary movements, which I won't go into too much now. There's quite a lot of combative kind of energy. So I think that we're going to be needing to really center ourselves this week as much as possible, because there's I'm right, you right, they're not right. It's that whole energy that's been going on for the last few weeks, continuing but kind of almost escalating. The new moon is actually right next to the planet Pluto, which is the planet of where everything kind of gets bigger and more intense. And it's a follow-on kind of, because last year it was at a very similar degree, and that new moon kind of gave rise to a lot of what happened last year. So it's not the same, it's not the repeat performance, but it's another stage of a similar kind of energy unfolding. So the way I'm seeing it really is what John kind of referred to during our check-in, was that, the way that we're navigating our lives now is different to what we were navigating last year. So if you compare your life to last year, you will notice changes and differences and shifts inside you. And it's really to kind of give cognizance to those shifts, to give kudos, if kudos is due, to where you've grown, how you've grown, and even for the fact that you're still standing here and, you haven't fallen over, shows that there's great resilience there. And I believe that this is a year where we're building that resilience. And Capricorn really is a sign that I associate with resilience and with staying power, with endurance. And we're going to need staying power and endurance to see us through this big shift, because we're moving into a new dimension, a new consciousness, but we're still moving into it. So we still need to really anchor down. And I see it as anchoring in our hearts. That's the anchor point. That's our place where we can actually truly anchor and truly connect. And in that way, we can actually build the intelligence and the resilience that we need to actually weather whatever, the center of the storm. We often refer to the center of the storm. So it's going to be a bit stormy for a while, particularly January. So it's not to, put any fear in. I mean, we've got plenty of that around. It's not that at all. It's the same kind of thing. It's just a bit intensified. especially this week. So the other thing I wanted to just say was, with the intention this year, most new moons, and especially the first new moon of the year, we're setting new resolutions and new intentions, and what do we want to achieve, what's our next thing we have to do, what's the next mountain we have to climb, what are our goals for the year. This year is a little bit different because, it's not that easy to plan in the outer world at the moment. We can plan certain things, but there's a lot of things that we don't really know if we can plan. So the way I'm sort of seeing it is more of an inner, it's an inner intention of kind of, how do you want to show up this year? Who do you want to be this year? How do you want to shine your energy this year? How do you want to shine your light? Those things that you might have been putting off or procrastinating about that you really want to do you want to actually do them? And what does that take? It takes commitment. So that's another word that's associated with Capricorn, is what are you going to commit to this year? Are you going to commit to your outer journey only, or are you going to commit to your inner journey as being the most important journey, and then let the outer flow from that? So I'm seeing it very different this year. It's not about just the outer. It never is. But this year is very clear that it's not, with this move of a lot of energy into Aquarius. It's much more of a higher dimension of consciousness. It's the new coming out of what's been cleared this whole year. A lot of old stuff has been cleared in ourselves and in our world, so that something new can actually be reborn. So what I'm going to say is, this new moon is to say, what new needs to be reborn in my own life? What can I actually let go of? And how can I actually shift my own energy by committing to this new intention that I hold? So that's what I would like to suggest that we do for the new moon, and for this week, and for the next few weeks, just staying in that very centered place.
Yeah, well, that's good advice. Very good advice. Mm. And if there are any gardeners out there, well, this is the week when we go and plant some new seedlings.
It's a good one too, because it's an earth sign.
Is
Capricorn's an earth sign, cardinal earth sign, so it means it's got a lot of vuma behind it. So plant the seeds.
Well, we're going to go and get some more seedlings for our veggie garden. Yeah. Definitely.
It's the best thing.
Yeah.
When you get a little lettuce out there, we just had one at lunchtime, lettuce out the veggie garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a tiny little veggie garden.
But it creates an amazing amount of food, and I think it's very good right now to be more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So start growing more vegetables yourself. It's easy, but also from a spiritual point of view, to get your hands in the soil and to connect with Mother Earth, that is so healing. So healing.
They also said it's very healthy. If you plant something and then you're actually eating that food, you're connecting more with the food than if you're just buying the food from a shop.
Yeah, the bacteria from your hands informs the bacteria in the soil, and that gives you the right nutriments in the plant. So they've done scientific studies on this. Dr. Christine Northrup was talking about it as well. And so we know that the moment you get your hands in the soil, your body's intelligence is talking to the intelligence in the soil. And bacteria, well, we seem to, in the modern world, we're taught to fear bacteria and viruses. And that is just absolutely not true at all. Without bacteria and viruses, we couldn't exist. We exist because of bacteria and viruses. And they are the real intelligence on Earth. One of the major intelligences, and they communicate almost instantaneously around the whole Earth. And they're also the balancing energy on the Earth. So I just had the intuitive awareness this last week to start connecting more with the bacteria. And to actually ask the bacteria to bring more balance to the Earth. Yeah. And I think if we commune in that way, in a sacred way, we're not directing them, we're not telling them what to do. We're just setting our intention to interact with the biome of the Earth. Yeah. I think it's something like 98% of all biomass on Earth is bacterial in nature. Now you think of all the trees and all the humans and all the animals,
it's huge,
all the fish in the sea, and we make up like 2%, and the bacteria make up like 98%, something in the region of that. So I believe that getting out there, new moon, get your hands in the soil, connect with the biology of the soil, with the biome of the soil, and set your intention for a greater nourishment for all of mankind.
And also even just connecting with Mother Earth, with the intelligence of Mother Earth. You know, it's not just about, this is not head intelligence, this is heart-based, connective intelligence, that we are not separate. And I think that when we've got something that's facing us at the moment, like we have, it's more and more important, it's becoming more and more important for us to get into tune with the rhythms of Mother Earth, with the new moons, with the full moons, with the waxing and waning cycles, with the Earth. I believe that's going to be part of our sustenance and our resilience going forward. The more self-sustaining we can be, and the more we can work in harmony with the Earth, that's part of this new consciousness. You know, as opposed to treating it as something that we can just do what we like with. We're part of it. We're not separate from it.
And part of that being in concert with the rhythms of the Earth is to be with the seasons of the Earth. And you know, what we do is we eat foods out of season. You know, we eat food that's picked and grown in other parts of the world, and that is just not too healthy. So, you know, get your hands in the soil, plant your own food, and try and eat local and eat seasonal. What is, you know, what's growing right now, what's ripening right now, I believe that's meant for us right now. Not
and tune in with the intelligence of Earth.
So we're talking tonight about true intelligence, and I know that, you know, the left brain loves to categorize. It loves to, you know, have lists and numbers. I mean, that's what the left brain is so good at, and it's wonderful to have a left brain intelligence to do that. I know some people have listed 8 different intelligences. Some people have listed 12 different intelligences. Things like, you know, IQ, left brain, mathematical intelligence, musical intelligence, body intelligence, creative intelligence, emotional intelligence. These are all the different intelligences. The left brain loves to categorize them all. And, you know, you could read up on that, and that's all very interesting. And we've created a society that generally honors a couple of the intelligences. One of them is the IQ. And I remember at school doing an IQ test, and I failed every one. I never managed to pass an IQ test, whatever it was. And, you know, some people have, you know, do great at IQ tests, but some people don't. And that's just one intelligence, and it's such a shame that we categorize people according to that. Those who don't do well on that are pretty much ignored by the educational system. And yet, what we seem to understand today is that IQ is one of the least important of intelligences. The old world used to worship IQ. Albert Einstein said, you know, that we have a servant, which is the left brain, which is the analytical, time-based processor of information. He said, though, we have within us a sacred essence, a sacred intelligence. He said we've created a whole society that honors the servant, which is the rational mind, and has forgotten the true sacred gift, the sacred intelligence that we have. And so what we're going to suggest is, as we move into this new year, that we start to honor and value intelligences other than just purely the IQ, the intellect. You know, one of the things that I've been talking about for quite a long time now is that if you have your whole identity and your career based in IQ, well, there's going to come a time pretty shortly when you're made completely redundant, because there is something called AI, which is going to do every left brain thing infinitely more efficiently, quicker, and cheaper than any person's brain. The left brain is something that the computers can mimic, and they can do it incredibly well. So I believe that if you have a career that's predominantly left brain, I would suggest you start looking at maybe a new vocation, one that's not based purely in IQ. Because we know that computers, the AI particularly, is going to take over professions such as financial consultants, lawyers, doctors, what else? That's all going to be done by AI, and probably done a lot better. But there are many, many other careers that AI cannot do, many other areas of life that AI cannot do. And I know Stephen Covey, when he was talking about the different intelligences, he said that and he focused a lot on this, and that was his sort of genius in the world. He focused a lot on EQ. And what is EQ?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. And we can see a lot of very left-brained people, people who are very highly qualified, in the actuarial sciences or the medical field, and yet they lack the emotional intelligence. We look at some software developers, some billionaire software developers, and in my opinion, they really lack emotional intelligence in what they're doing to planet Earth at the moment. So I believe that emotional intelligence needs to be cultivated, needs to be honored, needs to be valued. But Stephen Covey said there's a more important intelligence above even EQ, and that is SQ. SQ. What is SQ? That's spiritual intelligence. And he said because spiritual intelligence should be the guiding intelligence for all the other intelligences. IQ without a guiding intelligence is mad. It's insane. Yes, it can create the atomic bomb. It can create 5G. It can create genetically modified foodstuffs, so-called foodstuffs. But without emotional intelligence, it's out of all control. And it's detrimental to the interconnectedness of nature. We're now talking about, injecting, this mRNA vaccine. There's no emotional intelligence in the research that's gone into that. No spiritual intelligence at all.
Spiritual intelligence means we're all connected. So what you do to the one is going to affect the all. So you wouldn't actually willingly do something to one, knowing if you had a spiritual intelligence that it's actually going to affect the all.
Yeah. So the word spiritual, the way that we use it, means to be conscious, to be fully awake. And what is conscious and awake? It's to realize, as Michelle said, the interconnectedness of all of life. We spoke about bacteria being interrelated, interconnected. We built up a society that's disconnected, a society we've spoken before that's built on Darwinian thinking, survival of the fittest, me versus the rest. That isn't how nature works. It works through systems of cooperation. It works through ecosystems.
Yeah.
And spiritual intelligence connects us to those ecosystems.
Yes.
The heart energy is an intelligence of interconnectiveness. In fact, the word, when we talk about love, what is love? But a sense of that connectiveness. It's a sense of oneness. That's what love is. If you fall in love, you feel connected to the other. If you fall in love with life, you feel connected to life.
Yeah.
So the heart energy is a sense of connection where the left brain, the linear, analytical, time-based awareness is a sense of disconnection. Disconnection. And that disconnection is destructive because it's always doing what's good for the individual, for me and mine, irrespective of the damage that it does to the collective.
Yeah, it's polarized.
And if we want to survive as a species, I believe we now have to reconnect in communities that are beneficial for all involved, not just for elite few. And there is an intelligence that arises within communities that is far more intelligent, I believe, than centralized control. We live in a body, and the way we've modeled the body is that the brain is a central control of the body. And we find it's just really not true. It's not true at all. The heart is the central controlling force, and it doesn't do it in a logical, linear way. It does it through a field of information radiating instantaneously around the body. We discovered that when we were doing neurology and neuroscience, and they measured the speed of electricity going from the brain down the body. And they realized that it's way too slow. I can't remember how. It's about 200 miles an hour or something like that, which is way too slow to orchestrate the movements of a ballerina or a gymnast or a top athlete. So they discovered that, hang on a minute, the brain is operating too slowly. What is orchestrating? It's the heart, because the heart works through fields, and fields are interconnected.
And it's got a bigger energy field.
Much bigger energy field. Yeah. And our hearts directly connect with the heart of Mother Gaia. And I believe that's the intelligence we need to now connect with. We have tried to dominate and control nature. I believe we now need to turn that about and start cooperating with nature, working in synergy with natural systems, which is what Michelle was talking about earlier, getting in sync with natural systems. And I believe that's going to be the survival of mankind, not the logical left brain with AI intelligence. It's more the heart energy, which AI will never do, by the way. AI doesn't have a heart. It can do pseudo heart work, but it cannot do actual, this real work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our natural connection to the earth, to the rhythms and everything has been whittled away over decades, and particularly now with screens and us being so attached to our screens and being so unaware of of the rhythms of nature, which is why when we go on holiday, we very often feel better because we're watching the sunrise, we're watching the moon, we're sitting outside, we've gone away from our screens, artificial light. So I think that this is all feeding into this, and the way that we're going to navigate our way through is to reconnect with the natural rhythms. Because I mean, the natural rhythms, you know when you need to go to sleep, you know when you need to wake up. But with all the artificial light and everything that we've got, those rhythms have been messed up as well.
Yeah.
So it's and sleep is so important for our immune systems and for our physical health.
Particularly right now,
Especially
we need a
right
boosted
now.
immune system.
So to say, am I getting enough sleep? And I think that with the shifts that are happening, we need even more sleep or more rest. So if you used to 7 hours sleep, you might need 8 hours, and that means going to bed earlier. So trying to get back into the rhythms of when is bedtime, when's a good time to where I feel like I'm actually waking up naturally, and I'm not waking up with an alarm clock because I've actually had enough sleep. So this is what it is for me, is returning to that, and it's also, as John said, returning to the interconnectivity of all of us, which is the future as far as I'm concerned, is community, is connecting more in a real way with our community around us, and helping each other. Some people are building community kitchens or community gardens, or when you can't do it on your own, connect with somebody else, connect with other families, do stuff together. There's strength in numbers, and there's strength in connection. There's not strength when we isolate ourselves and when we try and do everything on our own. So that's what the Aquarian theme that's come in now, not necessarily the age of Aquarius, but with Saturn and Jupiter moving into Aquarius, is very much about collectiveness, the community working together, unity, not polarized, top down, I say this, therefore you need to do this. It's finding our own authority, as opposed to just taking the word of anything that comes across our screen, or somebody standing in front of us with a white coat that possibly, well, what do they know? Because they've got a white coat on. Doesn't mean that they know anything. So it's just actually really finding out what our own sense is about stuff, what our own truth is. And for me, this is what this maturing is. From what we've been through for years and years, but especially last year, we're moving into a more mature way. What do we believe now? Where do we take our power from? Do we just accept that, this is the way it's got to be, so we just say, okay, fine? Or do we say, no, hang on, that doesn't resonate with my inner authority, which is my inner intelligence, which is not here. It's a knowingness. And I think that that's very important, that we actually really nurture that and reconnect with that at a very deep level. And I think that nature can help us do that.
Yeah. You see, the IQ, the normal rational mind, when we say rational, it is the most programmable mind. We can manipulate and control people, and people are manipulated and controlled through television, which we know, but through education. If you want to control someone, educate them. Educate them in a certain way of seeing the world.
Yeah.
And the heart, on the other hand, cannot be brainwashed, because it's not the brain.
Yeah.
You can brainwash the brain, but not the heart. And I really think our power, I know, our power is stepping down out of the head into this. And Michelle mentioned about screens and being addicted to technology and to a disconnection from nature. And I believe all addictions are a result of being disconnected. They did tests in the lab with mice, and they found that the mice that were disconnected from the community became addicted far more easily than those that were in a nurturing environment.
It's a fascinating study because they put cocaine, I think it was, in water.
Cocaine, yeah.
And the mice or the rats that basically just had the cocaine and in an empty cage went for the cocaine.
Were isolated.
As soon as they took those same rats, different rats, put them in a cage with lots of little toys and swings and things like that, and some food and each other, they basically didn't touch the cocaine water.
Yeah.
They didn't. I mean, that's just a very easy way of looking at what actually happens when we isolate, when we shut off our connection.
Yeah, we're made to be in
social
communities.
Yeah.
So addiction is a result of disconnection, and the biggest one we disconnect from is nature.
Yeah.
So one of the sad things about the way the world has been programmed is programming children to be addicted to social media.
Yeah.
And I would suggest no child under the age of probably under the age of 6, 7, 8 should have a phone at all, ever, under any condition. And then even those who have phones or iPads after that age, there must be a rationing of time that they can use it and get them into nature, connecting with nature. Because it's an addiction. It is a dangerous,
more and more of an addiction.
Dangerous addiction.
You must look up a book
control.
called Digital Cocaine.
Yeah.
They have rehab centers for kids to actually get them off the digital stuff.
Correct, yeah.
And they climb the walls as if they're addicted to heroin.
They do. If you've seen the movie Social Dilemma on Netflix, it goes into that to a certain degree as well.
Yeah, and I mean, most of us are to some degree addicted to technology.
Yeah.
We are. It's the reality.
Yeah.
If you take it out of your life, just see. So it's just to see that, it's to notice it and to say, how much time am I spending on it? And is that serving me? Yeah. Is that serving my spiritual intelligence, my emotional intelligence? Is that helping me to be more resilient? Is it helping me to connect with nature? No. So I think that this is part of this getting back to nature. Yes, have the digital technology, it's part of our lives, but be conscious about how much we're using it. I think that's the important thing.
Start to teach children, or the children learn from what you do. So if you're sitting on your phone all the time, it's hard to teach children anything other. But if you spend time in the garden and you spend time with nature, you don't necessarily label nature. You look at a plant for its uniqueness in this moment. You look at a bird for what it is in this moment. You look at a butterfly for what it is in this moment. And you center yourselves in presence, connecting with nature. That will have a ripple effect on those around you. So as we step into the higher intelligence, the spiritual intelligence of connectiveness to Mother Gaia, I believe that it becomes more and more important for us to spend more time in nature, in stillness, because your spiritual intelligence is activated not by thinking, not by doing, but by presence, by being in nature, being in the present moment. And this is the intelligence that the universe operates on. And in order to survive as a species, I think we need to reconnect to the intelligence of nature, the intelligence of the cosmos. As we mentioned before, the word cosmos means order. There's an order in the cycles and the rhythms of nature. And we disconnected from those rhythms with our logical left brain. And now we need to reconnect through the heart, through stillness, through presence, through being, with these rhythms in order for creative solutions to the current problems to come in.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't have the ability to go out into nature a lot, it's literally as simple as just putting your feet on Mother Earth. I mean, grounding is one of the most helpful things you can do. it's one of the things that reduces inflammation, like immediately. It discharges. We're electric. As soon as you put your feet into the ground or you lie on the grass or the beach or whatever, you're actually discharging. So it's taking the inflammation out of your body. And so that's a very, very quick anti-inflammatory. And at the same time as you're doing that, you're actually connecting with Mother Nature. So you're getting back into harmony with the intelligence of our planet, which is part of us. So it's a kind of a no-brainer, really, for health. Never mind anything else.
Yeah.
Just for physical health.
Yeah.
It's the answer.
If we look at, for example, with this virus, we have a natural defense mechanism against viruses, and it's not masks, it's not social distancing, it's not hand washing. It's actually called our immune system. That's nature's way of protecting us from viruses and bacteria, which we do need certain ones, but the ones that are damaging to the body has a defense mechanism against, called the immune system. And by connecting to nature, we enhance the immune system immeasurably. By connecting to presence, we enhance the immune system immeasurably. By connecting to love, we enhance the immune system immeasurably. When you're in love, you're impervious to bacteria and to viruses. It's when you're in fear that you succumb to these viruses. And if there's a life shock, people quite often get ill after some sort of life shock because your immune system collapsed in that moment.
Have you ever noticed also, I know when I was working really hard in the film industry and that, I would work for the whole year, and then eventually I would stop working and I'd get sick. Because my body just eventually said, oh, okay. But my immune system was shot, but the sort of striving kept me going until I stopped. And I'm sure that happens to many people.
Yeah, and then rest. In that case, rest.
Then you need to rest. So it's the immune system's huge, and it's so important right now. That's where the emphasis needs to be. And that's not where the emphasis is, unfortunately.
No.
In any of the mainstream media, none of them are saying,
boost
up
your
immune system.
Yeah.
Go out into the sunshine and spend 15 minutes in the sunshine every day and boost your vitamin D is one of the most important things to fight any illness. But nobody's telling us to do that.
And that
so
comes
that's
from
where
nature.
our authority, we need to connect with our innate intelligence. And that's Mother Earth. She'll tell us that. She'll give it to us. She's right there saying, here's the sunshine. Sit in the sunshine. If you haven't got sunshine and you're living in the UK, then maybe you have to supplement more with vitamin D. But, I mean, if you can get outside, even if you are in the cold, at least you're getting into communication with the planet.
Yeah.
Because sitting in a room isn't going to help.
Yeah. And if you can think of the people who are succumbing to the virus, generally have a low immune system. And there's an awful lot of humans at the moment who have low immune systems. People who are, overweight, people who have various health problems, etc. Those are the ones that the virus is taking down. And I nature has a way sometimes of culling populations. It does that and takes out the weak. And so I believe that we all need to take more responsibility for being healthy, for being strong. And that takes emotional and spiritual intelligence. That's what it does take. Do what you feel is right, what your heart tells you is right. Do that. Listen to your heart. And you'll be far stronger. The more you connect to life, the more you connect to love, the more you connect to community, the stronger you will be. If you're fearful of other people, if you're fearful of life, well, your immune system's going to take a big knock.
You've just got to know
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a big advantage to connecting with these higher intelligences of emotional intelligence, EQ and SQ. And the advantage is that you're far happier, you're far more centered, you're far more trusting, you're far more at peace. You're far more intelligent, you're far better problem solver when your emotional and spiritual intelligence are activated. So there's a lot of benefits to what we are teaching. And if any of you would like help in that direction, emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence, we have 2 platforms, or 1 platform and 1 course, which you can take advantage of. The platform is an ongoing monthly platform which anyone can join. It's called Inner Space, cultivating the heart energy, inner space. and you can join just for 1 month or join for a year if you want, but it's just an ongoing monthly platform called Inner Space, and that's at journeysofawakening.com. And then on the 28th of January we start another new course. It's Journey to Freedom. Journey to Freedom. It's a 13-week course where we take you through 13 modules to help you peel away the mind, peel away all that troubles you, all that blocks you from freedom, to lead you back into this space, this heart space.
And it's an interactive course in the sense that we have a Zoom call every week, so we answer questions, we do a bit of counseling, a bit of coaching, and then you've also got a hell of a lot of different sort of things to support your journey, meditations and journals and all sorts of things, and a very strong community connection that builds up, which is very important right now. So join us. You can come for the first week for nothing for that, for Journey to Freedom. And join us for the first week for free. You get 2 Zoom calls for that, and you can just see if it's a fit for you, if it's something that resonates with you.
And you can have a look at that at our website, journeysofawakening.com. And it is a case now of reconnecting to community, and that's what we are doing, building up this community of support. And there is amazing support in the different groups that we have got going.
Yeah, and what's also happening is it's not just about that. It's actually also about, you guys that are watching this, you're already on a journey of awakening. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching it. And I believe that we need to bring people together that are all on this journey, so that we can actually build our joint resilience moving forward into this new world. So, the more we can actually grow communities like this, and there are many communities around the world. It's wonderful. It's almost like different little light sources. If you could see from outer space, I reckon you'd actually see all these different communities that are actually just shining light. It's probably the most important thing we can do if we're going to do anything.
This year particularly.
Very
important this year.
It's not actually a doing, it's a being, but it's one of the most important things to engage in, is the inner journey, so that our light actually shines out into the universe, which so desperately needs it right now.
And as we've spoken about before, as we make this inner shift, so we connect with the true energy of this planet, and we find that our material needs are taken care of. We don't have to strive, we don't have to worry, we don't have to be so dependent on competition anymore. It's amazing as we activate our spiritual intelligence and our emotional intelligence, and as we clear the blocks to those out of the way, so we find our needs being met more easily, more abundantly by life. It is amazing at how that happens.
So join us.
Journeysofawakening.com.
Absolutely.
And the world, let me just say one thing to you all, the world needs more light. It needs your love. It needs your connection right now. You are really important in the evolution of the species. Your light, your uniqueness, your creative uniqueness is needed by Mother Gaia right now for the evolution of the human species. That's how important you are.
Absolutely. You're a spark of light, and a very, very, very important one. Without you, the tapestry would not be complete.
Correct.
So.
Thank you. Shall we ask Michelle to lead us out?
I've got a lot of time, but I'll just lead you out with a quick leading out visualization.
Yes, and then we'll give you an affirmation for the week to help you through this week. Just one thing about the chart looking a little bit challenging this coming week. A flat, calm sea might look beautiful, but to surfers, it's not that exciting. So we need waves, and when we have waves on the ocean, you need to know how to surf. So the spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence is really the surfing of the challenges of life. So yes, you have the ups and you have the downs, but you learn to enjoy them, and you surf the surface. You don't get pulled into the current, you don't get dumped anymore. You're able to sail through them pretty evenly, calmly, and actually enjoy with exhilaration the ever-changing planet that we're on. So it is important to have these spiritual tools as we move through these challenging times.
And it's about embracing change and not resisting it, because there's going to be more. So at best we get used to it.
Yeah.
And surf the waves. Yeah.
Good. So you're going to give us a centering.
All right, so let's just close our eyes and take a beautiful, deep, long breath in. And a releasing, relaxing breath out, and drop the shoulders. Let's do another one. Beautiful, deep, long breath in. And then a very slow breath out. Slow, and let all the air out. Breathe it all out. And as you breathe it all out, just soften. Imagine a beautiful wave of light entering in through the top of your head and just moving down, all the way down through your body. And as it moves down, imagine it just relaxing each part of your body. Let it relax your head. Unclench your jaw. Let that light move down into your shoulders and drop your shoulders. Just completely let them go. That light trickle all the way, or flow all the way down into your torso, front and back, all the way down the spine, clearing out and softening and relaxing any areas of tension, tightness, resistance. Moving all the way down through your hips, through your legs, your knees, your shins, your ankles, into your feet, down into the earth like a root. Beautiful, beautiful root. So now just imagine that light standing, you standing with the light pouring in through the top of the head, all the way down through the feet into that root system. Send that root deep into Mother Earth. Feel the gratitude that you have for this beautiful planet that keeps us alive, that supports us, that is a living, intelligent being. Send your gratitude down into Mother Earth. Allow yourself to just be supported and held and nurtured. And give your nurturing to Mother Earth. Allow that to flow through you into her. And then feel that energy coming in through the bottoms of your feet and bringing that energy all the way up through your body. You might even sense energy. As soon as we set an intention, energetically, it happens. So bring that energy up through your feet and up through your whole body. Out through the top of your head. Fully in harmony with the sky, with the air and the sun, two masculine elements. The earth and the water, two feminine elements. Taking your attention now, spark of that light into your heart and feeling gratitude for everything. Feeling gratitude for being here right now on planet Earth, being part of this big shift. As challenging as it might be, just feeling the gratitude, aligning yourself with the present moment, right now. The peace that we can be found in this moment, this now moment. Connecting with our true power, our true intelligence, our true connection. Just quietly just be in this space. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just this. You connected with all that is in a centered, loving space. And now allow the light from the middle of your heart to radiate out onto our planet. You might want to send it to specific people, to specific places. Or you might just want to let it radiate out generally, knowing that as you intend that, it is done. Now take a deep, beautiful breath in and a releasing breath out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
Thank you. That was lovely, Michelle. Wasn't that beautiful? Did you enjoy that?
Short and sweet.
Yeah, let us know if you enjoyed that.
Just keep doing that during the week. Just keep grounding, keep connecting, keep bringing that root down.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. My turn to choose a card tonight from a pack. We have a pack of cards here. Let's try blue tonight. This is the affirmation for the week. As I live more in presence, so I live in the magic of synchro destiny. As I live more in presence, so I live more in the magic of synchro destiny. And what is synchro destiny? But life.
Intelligence of life.
Intelligence of life. Now, I'll post that on the page shortly, the Facebook page, John Homewood 7. And that can be your affirmation for the coming week. So enjoy surfing
surfing
the waves this week. Yeah? And we'll catch up with you next Sunday evening for Sunday with Sunday Satsang with John and Michelle.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Beautiful week.
Sleep tight.
Stay
Love
safe.
you lots. Night night.